Hello, hello, hello. I hope we've got some people here. I forgot to put the comments up. Hold on. There we go. Oh, that's really interesting. My comments are way over here. I don't know how that happened. Let me move them. Now, one of the things I'm going to try before my next live is to see whether if I put the lyrics of a song or just the land acknowledgement, for instance, if I put it up on my screen, whether or not it would be visible to you guys. So I haven't done that yet. Oh, Cece, you're here. Yay, yay, yay. That's fantastic. And you're on YouTube, so that worked. That link worked for the YouTube people. I just found the link for the Facebook. It's a long story. I will tell you that story later, but I don't know if we're going to have anybody from Facebook today because the link disappeared and I finally didn't find it till just half an hour ago. I'm going to read a short land acknowledgement from the Royal Botanical Gardens because this is something I'll have to learn before the 1st of May, a week from now. The Royal Botanical Gardens, so we acknowledge the long history of First Nations and Métis people in the province of Ontario and pay respect to the Six Nations of the Grand River Territory and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, the holder of the treaty with the Crown for these lands. The land we steward is within the traditional territories of the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Huron-Wendat nations. Now, Sue, you tried Facebook again too. That's great. So can you all let me know if the sound is loud enough because it's not going up into the yellow. I know that doesn't make sense to you guys, but I'm just hoping that I'm going to turn it up a little tiny bit and see if that helps. I don't think that helps. I think I have to hold on. I will turn my speaker up. And also, I think maybe that this microphone, is not working as well as it used to or something. Anyway, it's not quite loud enough, Sue. What about now? You're sounding good to me, to CC. You can go louder if you like. Yeah, I don't quite. Now, Penny would have been so pleased that I had the sound fixed. And Chris did come and fix it for me. There it is. It's getting up there now. So that's a little better. Good. That's great. So this is going to be a very short live because, to be honest with you people, I am exhausted from the whole business of putting together this Keynote concert premiere, which I'll be doing live. It won't be, in person. It won't be live. I'm not going to project it or anything. It is being videographed, and I might perhaps be able to post the videograph later. But my videographer is going to use it and some live gig pieces and some stuff from my lives to make a sizzle reel of somewhere between 6 to 8 minutes long. So that's what that's all about. And at one time I was thinking, well, this is kind of like taking a university course. That combined with my daily stints of exhaustion, being the age I am and all that stuff with the arthritis. But so it's more like writing a master's thesis, which I have done. And it's kind of like that. So the past couple of weeks have been taken up with all of the business of putting this together. So I met with the rental person, Tatiana. She showed me the space. I loved it. And so that was great. And then she put me on to Michelle. And so Joan's my videographer, Joan and I met with Michelle and went over all kinds of things, but we both expected it to be in the venue, and it wasn't. It was in a meeting room in the main building. So we decided we'd go back on Easter Sunday with Chris, who is doing my sound, which is great. And we came in just at the end of the Sunday brunch, so it was terrific because they were stripping the room down, and we got a chance to wander around and really have a look at things and decide, where the stage should go exactly, and all of this kind of thing. And then I've had to, pay the rental bill and pay I pay Michelle for, all of the setup and everything, like the menus and all that kind of thing. So what's going to happen? Oh, excuse me. Oh, geez, it'd be just great if I started coughing now, wouldn't it? So what's going to happen is that I will, and Cece is used to doing this kind of thing because she does these live shows all the time, all over America. It's amazing. She's an American history buff, and yeah, it's pretty fantastic. So she will sing songs from like the 1990, like 19 teens, or 1920s or 30s, but she'll sing them in this sort of operatic way that singers sang back then, because that was what people were looking for. So, and I just absolutely love it. Suffragettes and certain highways and all kinds of things, pieces of history that she's gathered together. So, anyway, all of this has taken up a great amount of time, and now it's coming up in a week, and I still have to finish the stories and choose the songs that I'm going to sing. So it's really, really something. But my hope is that I will be 78 this October, and we'll take the next couple of years of doing this when I can, but hopefully we'll build up a relationship with event planners and conference planners and so forth, and build up another few stories that that have a kind of a theme to them, and that I will be able to, between 80 and 85, I'm hoping to do one a month, and that's the plan. Oh, you appreciate the shout out. That's fine, Cece. I would shout you out anytime I could. That's really good. So now we've got everybody on YouTube. Well, people can watch on Facebook later then. So what I wanted to do was to just make this fairly brief today. One of the songs I was thinking of singing was On the Water, which I broadcasted the lyric video of that with my daughter Erin's beautiful voice. But I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to sing my April-October song, which is now called Breathtaking Gown, because it is spring and finally got here, and we've got not just daffodils on the windowsill, but daffodils in the backyard, and scilla and some crocuses and some little iris, and the bloodroots are up, and the forsythia's blooming beautifully, and it's finally arrived. So I don't know what it'll be like on the 29th, which is when we had JD's celebration of life, but it's certainly spring-like today, which is wonderful. So here we go with Breathtaking Gown, and hopefully everything is set up and will work. It's not working here. Hold on. Yep, still on that. Fields and the orchards are bursting with blossoms. Birds have returned, and their song fills the sky. Fields are fresh turned, and the grasses is greening. Time for the planting, for springtime is nigh. All dewy speaks of summer and whispers it's coming, while nature greets life in a breathtaking gown. All dewy the dawnings, all misty the mornings, sunsets in glory each night o'er the town. Each sign speaks of summer and whispers it's coming, while nature greets life in a breathtaking gown. Fields that lie fallow are purple with aster, grasses have dried and stand golden and brown. Corn streamers rustle, all crisp in the breezes. Fall is at hand, and the leaves are come down. All clear are the dawnings, and fresh are the mornings. The sun sets in glory each night o'er the town. Each sign speaks of winter, but speaks with such splendor that nature greets death in a breathtaking gown. All clear are the dawnings, all misty the mornings. The sun sets in glory each night o'er the town. Each sign speaks of winter, but speaks with such splendor that nature greets death in a breathtaking gown. So, yeah, it's just, I'm hoping I don't have a catch in my throat a week from now. I had a funny thing happen yesterday. I went to get my hair cut, and things aren't quite blooming here yet. Oh, Minnesota. Yeah, because you guys get the cold before we get it. And so it's dipping down into you. Raining and hearing this song always helps me get in a spring mindset. Beautiful. That's great. I'm glad. And I know it's one of Sue's favorites too. Yeah, so yesterday I went to get my hair cut, and we had a game day here on Good Friday. It was sort of our Easter gathering. So the kids and grandkids and a niece came, and so there were 8 of us around the table, and 2 dogs, and there was all kinds of food. I had made cupcakes, and I got some chocolate rabbits and some chocolate eggs and things for everyone. But we ended up with, I had a bag of blue corn chips, and we ended up with Doritos as well. So there was a bowl with the remains of those in it. And so I proceeded to eat all the dregs, to get the big ones out of the way and just eat the little pieces and stuff. So I went to get my hair cut. And while I'm getting it cut, all of a sudden I said, oh no, it's actually before I got my hair cut, which is good. I got this tickle in my throat, and I said, oh, I have to go outside to cough because, ever since COVID, it's just like people get completely freaked out when you cough. And I just got a notice today to say, get your spring COVID shot to keep you protected. And I didn't realize that we were doing that again. I had one in the fall. But a friend of mine just got back from Florida, and she got down to Florida for a week at her brother's place. And she was sick for the whole week and a couple of days after she got back here. And she said it's like it was a horrible cough and head congestion. So when she called me yesterday, she said, I really think I had COVID, but I've got really old tests, and they don't think that, she just didn't think it was working anymore. Yeah, Sue, I know you love that song, which is really always good to hear, because mine is it's the only song that has my voice on it on Celtic Cat. The other 4 songs are sung by Aaron, just to get that lighter, higher, clearer, a younger voice for that. Yeah, she's fine. She called me the other day, so she'd been home for about a week, and she had her kids come home with her and her daughter and her daughter's partner, and she has a new cat and all this kind of thing. But she just basically spent a couple of days in bed, and she said most of the days, other than sitting by the pool, she was in bed down in Florida. So uh, really too bad. And I mean, just it's just spooky. You don't want to. So anyway, you don't want to cough inside of a salon where there's a bunch of people getting their hair done. But I went out and coughed and coughed and coughed, and afterwards I thought that cough is probably all those little dregs of those little crumbs of those those like corn chips, the capasa and the Doritos, because I was just stuffing my face with them, and I think it coated my throat. Anyway, so I was going to, remember last time? Well, those of you who saw last one, I put the on the water video onto the screen, and everything was fine. So I wanted to do the same thing with one of my gigs of I got Jeremy Volts to beatbox, and I did one of my poems, and I could not for the life of me get it to either go into, it just wouldn't work anywhere. I couldn't copy it onto the desktop, so I don't know. It's done on a phone, and maybe that's the reason why. I don't know. Yeah, the salt. It could be that for sure. Cece. But what Cece is saying is that the salt dries you out from, and I don't even think it was just the salt. I think that there's little tiny pieces of corn, and I honestly think they were all caught in the folds of my throat because I'd just eaten them before I'd gone to get my hair cut. Anyway, so I thought what I would do is I'll just do I Drive Away, and that will be it for today. I haven't got anything else ready for you, and yeah. So this is sort of how did this happen? Sometimes you can remember, like I've told you the story before about Breathtaking Gown, where I wrote the fall. One was as I passed a fallow field full of purple asters on my way to school one day. I was running the School of the Arts, and so by the time I got to the school, it was another 15 or 20 minutes or so. I had that half of the song, and I couldn't write the other half. I tried a number of times. And then a couple of years later, I was driving up to Brock University, up Thoroldstone Road, and went between two orchards of peaches, which were full of pink blossoms. And by the time I got to Brock, I had the summer part of the song, Spring Summer. But I wasn't thinking so much of the words as I was of the melody, and I thought, oh my God, I've plagiarized somebody. This is ridiculous. Well, then I finally realized I wasn't plagiarizing anybody but myself. I had just finally written the other half of the song. So that's what that's about. This one started out, this is a poem, really. But people see it as a kind of a rap. And so I got Chris, my producer, when we recorded it, to, I wanted him to beatbox, and he did, but he also put this, license through Logic or something, he put this car revving and driving on it as well. So, so this is called I Drive Away, and I can't remember for the life of me how I managed to put it together, but there you go. And Cece, no offense, but it was when I used to go to the States quite a bit. This year I have to go down to, in the fall, two or three times, because Tiamo, who is doing the Keynote concert program with us, wants us to come and sort of have a retreat for 3 days with him, and he'll kind of coach us and help us to get things better. So I'm going to go. But I have to tell you, Cece, it's with reluctance. Okay. Um, so, oh, and by the way, I am going to vote because we're having a very important election right now, and I'm going to vote. The day to vote is on Monday, so I'll be sure to do that. It's close by, and I'm not going to miss it. I vote all the time anyway. So this is called I Drive Away. I am a wild one. I've led a straight life. I raised my family right. I've been a good wife. But when the walls start closing in 'cause I've been staying at home, I put the pedal to the metal and I start to roam. I go downtown. I head for the hills. I bomb along the back roads, and just for the thrills, I hit the fast lane on the highway and I drive away. I drive away. I am a wild one. I've led a straight life. I raised my family right. I did a good wife. But when the walls close in, but I can drive for miles until I run out of fuel, rolling down the highway, listening to Lou. It takes a road trip to take away my stay-at-home blues. I drove into Quebec with my sister and a friend. We went to get my mother and bring her home again. I've done the family camping from the West Coast to the East and down to the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. We went to Tadoussac. We went to PEI, across Vancouver Island and across the mountains high. I love to go with company. I love to come back home, but sometimes when I travel, I just have to go alone. I've been to Pittsburgh. I hopped through Louisburg, Harrisburg, and Gettysburg Town. I drove the Shenandoah Valley to Kentucky on my own. I spent some time in San Diego on the dock of the bay, took a night drive across the desert heading east from L.A., wound up to Idlewild at dawn, San Bernardino way. I dropped some coins in Vegas, but I didn't really play. I drive, I fly, I get aboard a plane. I've been to New York City, and you know I'll go again. I am a wild one. I've led a straight life. I raised my family right. I've been a good wife. But when the walls close in, I hit the highway, and I drive. I drive away. I drive away. I drive away. I drive away. That's fun. In fact, I have to repeat I drive away at the end. And I often get snagged with the repeat of the wild one at the beginning and going into I can drive for miles until I run out of fuel. Rolling down the highway, listening to Lou, and if for those of you who don't know, Lou is a reference to Lucinda Williams, who I love, and I used to listen to her music all the time, coming back and forth, commuting to Niagara-on-the-Lake when I was doing the art school thing. Anyway, Sue and Cece and anyone else who watches this later, that's going to be it for today. It's 4:23, so we've gone for about almost 25 minutes, and I really don't have anything ready to give you. So thank you so much, you two, for being there. Great that you could watch it on YouTube, and now I know how to do that, to find that watch page link. And I will tell you one other thing. So what happened last night is that I had, I know I had to send an email out to the email list. So, but I was tired. So I watched TV until the weather report came on, and then I turned it off. And I sat at the computer and I typed up the email. And I included this list, and I included the Facebook link that I got from the event page. So I was almost finished it, and then it just kind of slid off the screen and went away, and I could not get it back. Now Erin's here today, and she said that maybe if you hit, Command Tab or something like that, it'll come back. I don't know. But I couldn't get it back. It was gone. So I had to start over again. And when I went back to the Facebook event page, it wasn't there. It was not there. There was no link to Facebook. But when I started this today, it said it was broadcasting it to Facebook and to YouTube. So it's on Facebook somewhere. I just don't know where it is. We'll see you. We'll see you very much. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. I'll be doing one in May, and I just don't know when yet. Yeah. Okay. So I'll say goodbye.